So let's say we're using Helm to deploy a lot of applications to our cluster, and in this particular case, we're using FluxCD to deploy Helm. And this command is specific for Flux managed Helm releases. Now let's say I want to know if any of them are eligible for updates. It takes a few steps to figure out what source repository it's coming from and if there's any available updates for that Helm chart that I'm using. But it doesn't have to. So let's go ahead and find a command that's going to help us out and speed this up. We're going to check out our Vault namespace because we happen to know that there's a Helm release inside of there. And we are going to go ahead and find a command that's going to help. In this particular one, we're going to check for available Helm chart updates. And we're just going to paste that into our terminal. And it's going to scan the entire namespace, find every release that exists, tell us the upstream chart. In this case, it's inside of our Flux system namespace, the installed version, and then if there's an available update and the latest version. So let's quickly just take a look at what that command was doing. So we first set our namespace and our context, and then we fetch every Helm release that exists in that namespace. And for each one of those, we're going to go into a loop. We're going to get the chart details specific to that release. And if we can get that chart, the chart information itself, we're going to fetch the kind, the name, the source, which is really important here, the namespace that it lives in, as well as the version that's currently deployed. Then once we've got that information, we're actually going to go look at the Helm repository object, and we are going to take the URL that it's pulling from. We're going to add it to our own local Helm repository. This is going to allow us to use the Helm CLI locally to add the repo and to search it for the latest version. We then create a variable of all available chart versions inside of that repo, and we basically sort that out and try to pull the latest version. So we sort it by version name, the latest being at the top, and then we only take that last object. And if the version that we're running happens to match the latest version, then there's no update available. But if there is a newer version, it will spit out that detail as well. And that's all we're doing. We're really just using the Helm CLI in conjunction with the kubectl CLI to take what we have installed and then add a local repo, query it, and tell us if there's a latest version available or not. And that's it.